This podcast is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online, the fastest, easiest, and safest way to bet on all things sports. With March Madness, the Masters, and Major League Opening Day right around the corner, it's my favorite time of the year, and Bet Online has all the latest news, scores, and odds to help you win big. The best part, you receive a 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Head on over to betonline.ag and use our promo code BLUEWIRE to receive your literal free money. Plus, signing up is a great way to support the podcast you're listening to right now. Again, that's promo code BLUEWIRE, all one word, when you sign up at betonline.ag. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.
My son played the video games well enough to know what's going on. He trades a lot of people on his team. So it'll be all good. We already prepared for whatever happens. Like I said, we always love to be here in the Detroit, man. Finish my career here. But, if it don't, we on to the next road. We ready.
Hello, and welcome to episode 31, the Reggie Miller number episode, one of two numbers I always tried to wear in sports growing up, along with number 35 of the Michael Rothstein Show. I'm your host, Michael Rothstein, and it's Combine Week. I know, super exciting. The entire NFL, or most of it anyway, will descend on Indianapolis starting today for about a week. Bars will be packed, restaurants will have waits, St. Elmo's will probably serve, few thousand shrimp cocktails and probably a few thousand steaks. Plus, there will be the added focus of negotiations and meetings trying to hammer out a new collective bargaining agreement between the NFL and NFLPA. Another part of what will be likely a news-filled week across the league. And understand that even though teams aren't technically allowed to talk with reps of free agents until the legal tampering period next month, make no mistake that many conversations happen in Indianapolis that will shape the immediate and long-term futures of NFL franchises, including the Lions. It's like that year over year, and something fans usually don't get to see. We'll have more about the Combine and about some other stuff that has happened with the Lions later on in the show. And usually I know we have a pod bag and we hit a whole bunch of questions that you have on these Monday podcasts, but we're going to flip it this week. We're going to cover some of that on Thursday because we have a guest today, and it is somebody who has been in the news a lot lately with the Detroit Lions. He is somebody you're going to know. It is cornerback Darius Slay, and we get into a lot during our about 40-minute conversation. We talk about, obviously, the trade rumors out there, whether or not he wants to still be in Detroit, how he handles that with his family. We also get into his time with the Lions, who's maybe talked the most trash to him in his career, who the toughest cover he has as a cornerback when it comes to wide receivers. And we get into even some deeper stuff too, like how he dealt with becoming a father as a teenager and how that changed him and shaped him, and how the life for his oldest son, Darian, and all of his kids now is so much different than when he grew up. It's a fascinating conversation. It's one I'm glad that Darius was willing to have on this show, and it's coming up in just a few seconds. My guest on the Michael Rothstein Show today is one of the Detroit Lions' best players over the past decade or so. He is someone who is very well versed in the community and someone who you clearly will know. Darius Slay, welcome to the show.
What's up?
So let's just jump right in here because, if anyone follows you on Twitter, if they follow you on Instagram, and you and I have always talked about your offseason stuff, you went to go see Amani Bates play recently. And for those who don't know, Amani Bates is one of the best high school basketball players in the country. People are comparing him to LeBron and Durant and all of that. What was that like going to see him play? Let's just jump in right there.
Good, good, man. The kid is actually 6'8" for real, and tall and lanky, just like Katie. And I only saw him twice, but that was my first time seeing him close up. The first time I saw him was kind of far away during the game. I was kind of ducked off, but this one I got right up in it. And he had a solid 40, like just how Katie be killing people quietly, same way he was doing. So he's a very talented kid, man. He got a lot of upside for him, man. He could be a very, very special kid.
Did you talk to him much yet? Because I know you and I have talked about, like, you guys have relationships with, whether it's Donovan Peoples-Jones or Rocket Watts. Like, have you started to build that with him as well, or?
Not really. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go check him out. You know, he didn't know I was coming probably, but yeah, I just want to go check him out and just see what all the hype about again. You know, I knew he was a talented player, but I wanted to see it close up in person.
So what's your offseason been like so far?
Shoot, just chilling, man. Shoot, hanging with the kids, streaming, you know, doing a lot of PUBG, video game, kicking it with the family, you know, so not much. Same old same, really.
I was just saying, I remember when we were talking back in like November and December, you said you were going to start a Twitch channel for maybe 2K and for PUBG. Has that happened? Like, how's that been going?
Yeah, that's been going great. I've been having a killer time. I just had a giveaway yesterday, so it's been good.
So, I mean, obviously, when we're talking about the offseason, there is your future as well, which is a big part of the offseason talks around the NFL. Where do you stand with kind of the conversations that have been happening around you, around your career, around whether you're even going to be here in 3 weeks?
Oh, shoot. No, not really. You know, they'll just that would have been said. But you know, you see the stuff on the internet, but you know, ain't not really been like deeply talked into or nothing about it. Just like, you know, I just think everybody kind of like open for everything.
Which kid of that is yours in the background?
Oh, it's my daughter.
Okay, that's it. So, like you said, I mean, it hasn't been too deep. Is that like, is just Drew not telling you a lot of stuff, or like, have you guys not maybe had as serious of conversations as people think?
I mean, honestly, I mean, they open for it, so they probably is having serious talk. Probably they just got to get the right. I'm guessing just the right cost. You know what I'm saying? And then it can happen. Well, whatever happens, but you know. That's the only thing I could get from it, really. You know, if they get the right price for it, they'll probably most likely do it.
Is this different for you now that's the off season? Because obviously it was brought up so much in season, right? Like right around the deadline. Right. Like, is it different in the off season when you don't have the week to week of football and you're not around your teammates? Does that feel different when it's talked about now versus then?
No, I don't feel no different. I feel the same. Shoot. I ain't care then. I ain't gonna care now.
Hey, I just didn't know if like all of a sudden, like with more time on your hands, you know, if it felt like you're like, oh, I think about it more, or like I don't, or like whatever happens, or something like that.
Yeah, whatever happens. You know, I'm here to play ball.
Yeah. What do you want out of a new contract?
Huh?
What do you want out of a new contract? Because there's been a lot of rumors out there. I know you've talked a little bit on social media, but you haven't really actually talked about it. What is it that you would like out of a new deal?
I'll let my agent them all that kind of stuff. But you know, they know they know the worth what it is with me. So you know, so I just let them kind of handle that. You know, I'll be trying to chill. You know, but you know, if I don't feel like it's the worth what I think it is, then I don't take it.
Right. I mean, do you have a gut feeling of what you think might happen?
I mean, not really, but like I said, I ain't really worried about that because it's not even a gut feeling. Because only a gut feeling comes when you scared of something. I ain't scared of nothing. So I'm gonna be grade 8. So anywhere I be, but yeah, it's whatever happens, really.
Is there a message you want fans, because you know fans get emotional about this stuff, like you know, like really, is there a message you want fans to know about all of this, like and
oh man, fans is just worried about, you know, I know the fans is, you know, I love the fans definitely Detroit fan, man. They some of the best fan bases I've been around. You know, you got your bad ones, you got your ones that, you know, that's that, but they have big time supporters though, so I appreciate all the support. That's why I do what I do in the community, go out there, have fun, take pictures all day with kids, they kids, people, fans, all that. But they should be it's a business, so you just need to look at the business aspect of it. If it was up to me, I'd love to be here my whole career. But one thing about a lot of stuff come first is my family. So I'll do what's best for my family for the first, and try to put my family in a great position to never have to want for nothing. So that's my goal. And if that's being here, then I'm here. If it ain't, then I ain't.
How often do fans, when you're out at high school games, at college games, how often do they ask you about this stuff or bring up?
All the time, but I just tell them that they always come to me and say, man, I hope you don't get traded, but you the best. Da 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 da. I say, man, we'll see how it goes. That's all I hit them with, and with a smile on my face and keep it moving.
So, going away from the trade talk a little bit to kind of what I'm just kind of, you and I have talked so much over the years, and I don't know if I've ever really asked you this question. Who's the toughest receiver for you to cover?
Oh man, the toughest one for me to cover was Davante Adams. But just because we got a good history, we've been going at each other for a long time, and a lot of guys only face like once, maybe twice sometimes, if I'm at that, but a guy like Davante, I've been going against him for a long time. He's just like Keenan Allen, so I have them guys that just kind of like tough to go with. Me and Diggs had a lot of great battles, but I'm saying Davante Adams is like the best receiver in our division. So I've been going against him for a good bit.
What makes him such a difficult cover? Is it just that he knows you and you know him, or is it more to it than that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little something like that. We know each other. He know what I like to do. He know what I'm great at. I know what he like to do. He great at, and you can tell that we find any little small details to win. So it's not just beating talent on talent. We beating each other with some type of technique. He using different type of release he giving, or I'm using a different type of press technique or whatever. And I'm just trying to figure little details out to win the battle. But we keep going back and forth. So he's very, very talented.
What's that like when you go against somebody 8, 9, 10, 11, I guess 12 times in your career? Does there become this mutual respect? Do you actually become friendly with the guy? Like, is there more of a connection there?
I got nothing but respect for all the guys I ever went against. I don't go in there with the trash talking, downplaying, saying this, saying that, but to any player I go against, because I go against mostly the best, and I give my all respect to all the best ones. So it's always be neutral. It's always a neutral friendship. Me and Tay, we real close. We're not real close, but we're close enough to like, what's up, what's good. We got each other numbers. Only thing we probably won't do is probably work out together till we leave them somewhere else. So I won't teach him all my moves, but but other than that, we pretty tight, man. I don't got nothing against nobody in the league. I love competing. I love going against the best. So it's never gonna be like a beef thing. It's more gonna be like help each other get better.
You mentioned, like, obviously you would never necessarily train with him. Are there NFL receivers you're training with now? Maybe guys who are in the AFC or at least not in the NFC North that you actually work with?
Not really. I really work out with a lot of DBs, but if I would like to train, I'd like to train with Keenan Allen just because of the fact that they helped me with Davante. So that's the only thing. Anything else, and but I ain't really trained with too many receivers. That's just somebody that's at the facility that I be at in Houston, and that's there we can probably get some work in. But other than that, I don't really train. I never really trained with a receiver.
Have you ever asked Marv, because Marv and Keenan Allen are close? Like, have you ever asked Marv about that? Like, have you been like, hey man, like, would Keenan work with me? Like, have you guys ever had that conversation?
No, not really. Like I said, because I knew the reason I almost did last year, but I forgot we played him, so I had to wait. So I like, oh no, I can't ask him this year. Then he gonna know what I'm gonna be doing. So I gotta wait. So probably this year, we could probably link it up. So that'd be good.
You mentioned trash talk before, that you don't necessarily talk a lot of trash other than maybe the finger wag, which isn't talking. Who is the best trash talker you've ever faced?
I mean, the best trash talk I ever had faced was Dez. So that was like my year 2 in the league. So after that, I never had talked to nobody like that because, like I said, I'm just chill, quiet, make a play, wave a finger. I never like, talk to somebody after making a play. I just make the play and then wave my finger and go back to the next one. So I never really had nobody just ever talk trash to me but Dez Bryant. And so, yeah, so that was the only one. Other than that, I ain't had that.
What did Dez say to you? Was it getting ridiculous or was it just like stupid stuff or what?
Oh, man, to my Dez?
Yeah.
Oh, man, Dez got mad because one play I had quick jammed him real hard and he failed. And he got up. And I was, because that's the game Rasheem Mathis got hurt. And that's when I actually kind of like started traveling with receivers. So I had to follow him. And, man, and I was just jamming him up, beating him up real pretty good. And then one time I got him real good and knocked him on the ground. He got up and like got hot and started spitting there. Where I said, bro, I can't be spitting on me like that. And he gave me, the F-bomb, F you boy, I do you like I did you your rookie year with number 30 on. I said, oh dang, he remember that. I said, oh Lord, I couldn't believe it. So I had to get my mind right. So I started talking a little trash to him just because, he felt like he could just disrespect me in that kind of way. But it was all love after the game though. But it was a good little battle.
Is that the only time you will talk? Will you talk if someone goes at you first, or would you just not even then?
If you look at it, like a lot of times that I kind of win a lot of battles, so it's kind of hard to keep talking when a lot of people losing. But so most part, I win a good bit of them, for the majority of them. So it's hard to kind of talk. But if they did, it depends on how I felt and how did it disrespect me enough for me to say something like that. Some people be like, yeah, like I don't care about just yeah, and getting loud and clapping. Yeah, you made a play. Oh well, next play. Plenty of game left. But if you come disrespectful, yeah, I have a lot to say.
What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you on a football field? Maybe not even in the NFL, but where you're just like, wait, what? Like, huh? Like, what the heck just happened here?
It really was not weird. So, what was weird was in the preseason game. When Machine was here, we made a bet, and we do like random push-ups. Like, yeah, well, like if you lose the bet, you probably like give you a random 10 or 20 how many you got. So during the preseason game, I had made a play, and I think it was like 3rd and like 10 or something like that. She made me hit like 3 push-ups on the field, just like give me my 3 in the middle of the game. I said, oh no, like so I had to hit 3 push-ups in the middle of the field. That was like the weirdest thing I thought because I was like in the whole serious mode. He was like, nah, you need to give me 3 on. But it was a preseason game though, so it was cool.
Was that your rookie year or was that your second year?
That was my second year.
Second year.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about doing that to guys since? Like with Amani this year, did you ever think about like kind of messing with him, knowing he would screw up to kind of get him to do that?
Oh no, I can't get him to do that. It's a different type of lifestyle now. I can't get him like that because it's a different type of way different type of style now. No, he get way more trouble doing that than me just having a little fun. But no, he can't do it.
Is that because of the current coaching staff versus the old coaching staff, or something else?
Yeah, that's totally they totally different. That's totally different. Yeah, Caldwell probably laughed. Man, Patricia ain't laughing with that. He said, "What is he doing? He might get in trouble just because he's a young buck, So, coaches always a little rough on young guys. They got to teach them the game and take it a little more serious. So I wouldn't do it to him.
What did you maybe learn the most from Caldwell? Because you were I guess, and Schwartz too. Like, you were such a young player when those two guys were here. Like, what did you learn through them that maybe people don't realize?
Oh man, like Caldwell taught us a lesson almost every day, and it was always not about football, and that was the best part about it, just because of the fact that he knew this football don't last long. It's a game. He wanted us to enjoy it and just have fun, but play hard as you can. So that's why a lot of guys played. Love Caldwell. He was just a genuine lover guy. Taught us everything, man. Taught me like life being, man. He always talked about the Lord. And I can remember the time he was he was going through this process of hearing that he was going to be fired type. And he was like, y'all worry about the wrong thing. I'm great. I'm situated, my family's good. I'm not, I'm not worried. It's just, I love coaching y'all. If I ain't, we always be, he basically say I'm always a call away. And, for somebody like that, that's a great feeling to hear. And, he treated all of us like we was just kind of like not kids, but as a literal like grown man that he just loved and loved being around.
You mentioned that he had gone through the whether he was going to be fired or not multiple times while he was here. When did he say that to you? And was that, or did he say that every time it came up?
Nah, he did. He had thing about it. He addressed it the one time because a lot of guys was in the locker room just talking about it. A lot of guys was just the media was coming to us. How you feel if Caldwell happened? This happened to Caldwell. That happened to Caldwell. So he seen that we was getting a lot of questions about it, and he just directly answered it, to us in the team meeting. Just like, man, guys, I appreciate the love y'all giving me, but y'all got to talk about that. I'm gonna be great. He's like, I'm set for life, and his kids, his grandkids, and everything. So he was just like letting us know like he good in good hands.
Have you talked to him much since he left?
Last time I talked to him was the time he got sick in Miami. Where he had reached out. I just sent the video to his grandson. His grandson was one of my biggest fans. His grandson always wore my jersey at games and always let a Slay thing away. So I had sent him a video of me just telling him, "What's up, man? I hope you're doing good," or stuff like that in school and everything, and gave him a little thing away. So he was loving it. So that's my little yeah. So he cool. So Caldwell, he is everything. So it was cool. But that was the last time I talked to him, though. Just checked on him about the health condition and stuff.
What's your relationship? Because I think a lot of people are curious about this, especially after everything that happened in October. What's your relationship like with Matt Patricia?
It was cool. We just, we just work. That's basically, what I'm saying? So it is what it is with us, but we just, we both I got it, baby. We both just trying to win, find a way to win. So that's the biggest thing. So that's what it's all about.
So, I mean, you have a relationship with him, right? Because I think there's some people who think you don't at all.
I mean, we good. It's not no hatred thing or nothing like that. A lot of that stuff got to do with with the business aspect and just the game. But I don't hate no one. So I ain't gonna say he hate me either. So, but we just got the same desires to win and a lot of stuff. How I am. He's just who he is. So that is what it is. Really, it ain't really much, but.
You've been in Detroit for a while. What do you think it would mean for this city to actually win consistently? Because, I mean, that's just something that, you've been open about too. It just hasn't really happened.
I mean, sure, it'd be good. Sure, I know the times we was winning. Yeah, sure, it was a great feeling. The city was loving it. Shoot, I was loving it. So I got the taste of it. So we're just trying to make it every year thing.
What do you think needs to happen? Where do you think that you guys need to maybe improve or kind of get to? What do you maybe need to get to that level where it can happen consistently? We all gotta just do better. That's just it, So from the players to the coaching staff to everybody, you just gotta do better. So the guys on the field, we gotta make more plays. And the coaches gotta help us make more plays, put us in a position to help make plays. So it's all one thing. So we just gotta all put it together, just go. So we'll just not making enough plays. That's it. To my knowledge, is we all wasn't making enough to help win. Because we were doing enough to have close games, but we weren't making enough plays at the end to win. So that's it. So it's just all about who always got to make more plays. Have you watched much of Jeffrey Okudah? I mean, because that's obviously a guy right now that's being mocked a lot to the Lions. And if you are here, and they take him, you would be playing with him. What do you think of Okudah from what you've seen from him?
He's a talented player, man. You can see his work, his he's aggressive corner, man. He play ball, man. You can see a smart guy, tall, lanky. I'm ready to see how fast he is because that's gonna really be the difference maker for a lot of folks. Like he already considered the best DB in the draft. So when he even run good, he go blow it all away, blow the draft away. So that's probably what a lot of people got a question on him, because he's so good at the line that he don't probably never see his true speed. So a lot of guys want to see his long-winded speed, because I see that he plays the boundary. And the boundary in college is just a small area, so your speed you don't see your speed a lot in the boundary in college. So, but in the league it's all field. The field, both sides of the fields are big, so that's gonna really show how fast you is. So that'll be the question probably on him right now, is how fast he really is.
What would a secondary with you and him be like? It'll be great, So, I don't have no hopes of big nuts of I think it'll be great with anybody that's in the room right now. But, adding him to the team, I'm quite sure that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. So whoever is to the team, I'm sure they're gonna draft for just to increase us and make us a better team. But if it's him and is in the room with us, we go just make our room a lot better than what it is already. You mentioned, obviously we're talking a little bit about the combine. Do you remember your combine experience? It was almost, it was 8 or so years ago, but what was that like for you, since it's combine week now? Like, what do you remember from that? Like, what were your emotions going into it? What was all of that?
The emotion was just too many doggone meetings, try to tire me out. I guess that's a strategy they use now. So I'm trying to tire kids out all during the day, then wake up. They'll have you doing meetings all the way to 1 o'clock at night, then wake you up at 7 o'clock to try to run a 40 and do backpedaling drills and all that kind of crazy mess. That was backwards. If I could do it all over, I wouldn't go. I just have a pro day.
Really?
Yeah, man. They be trying to. I heard they changed it up. The how it's done now. I heard it's better for the players now, but back then they just had us made it seem like they was kind of had you see how tired you is or whatever. Because my last meeting was about 12:30, and I had to be up by 7 to get and I'm like, man, what? I gotta rest up. This is one of my life changing thing, and I ain't trying to be dead tired. So trying to do the best thing for the interview.
What was the most interesting thing about it? Like, was there questions that you got in the interviews? Was there, a guy that you were rooming with? Like, what was that like?
It was all cool. It was just it was a lot of just questions. I had the same questions for the longest. Every draft meeting I went into, draft board I went to, they was just asking me, Slay, can you run? Slay, can you run? Slay, can you run? Slay, can you run? I'm like, yeah, I can run. Like, what's y'all? And that's the same question. Then they kept asking me, because I jumped on the board pretty fast, and I only played 1 year SEC ball, so everybody just kind of, I had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of just, is he gonna be a bust or this, a bust or that? So it was kind of just, annoying, but it was all good though. It was still fun.
Do you feel like you answered those questions at that combine? Like you said, can you run? Can you run? And clearly, you're one of the fastest corners in the league.
Yeah, I won't worry about can I run. Like, what is y'all looking at can I run? But so that was easy. When they asked me, can I run? I said I already know that I'm gonna have a good day then, because they worry about me running. That's gonna be the easy thing. I run for a living. Yeah, so that was gonna be the easy part. I like that. What? I run for days. That's the easy part. You can ask me something else.
When did you realize you might be an NFL player? Like, when did that really hit you?
I mean, I ain't gonna say I realized it more like when I got to college, but I always, all the kids out there in the world do just dream about it, and but I kind of always feeling like I had a feeling to do it, to be there, because I was real talented as a kid. So I was like, man, it's destined, and I had a lot of great leadership around me growing up. So I had a high school coach that just told me, you just put the work in, and the work will pay off. And that's all I was going off as a kid. And then when I got into college, same thing I was doing, and it just always paid off.
I remember back in August when we were talking about Brunswick, and when I wrote about Brunswick, Georgia, and you and Tracy and Justin, you had said that, like, you really hadn't met anybody. You didn't know NFL players. You didn't even maybe know a ton of college players at that point. How did you kind of shape and mold yourself then while you were in high school to kind of turn into what you've turned into?
My high school coach helped me. He kind of groomed me up, just told me. He just came from another school that signed a whole bunch of D1 kids, and he came to me and told me what it takes to get to that level, and told me he was one of the best players he ever coached. So I'm like, man, as a kid, you be like, man, he probably told all the kids that, all his talented kids he had at that, but he's a different type of level with me. He told me, like, man, you are a very, very special kid. So he just taught that, preached in that every day, and he just grew me up pretty good, man. He did a great job with me.
When he first tells you that, like, when do you start believing it?
I mean, I was already considered like the best person on the team in school already, but where I'm from is just like, it was just kind of hard to get to that level because it wasn't really considered a small town, but it was a small town in Georgia. So everybody just like, man, people don't go to school. People do this, that, and this, and that, and that, and that. So, so I just listened to a lot of rumors. Everybody just played the sport just to play it. But then he came along and showed me a whole different picture and a whole different path. And so I just started believing as what he was telling me, and I executed it pretty well.
Do you think you'd be where you are now if he hadn't been there?
I mean, I probably would have got to school, but the fact that he stayed on me while I was in school made it even better. I couldn't say if my other high school coach before him would have did the same because, differentness. But I knew for a fact that when he was coaching me and teaching me stuff, that he genuinely cared about me and cared about my well-being, and he cared for me to be very, very successful. And that's all he wanted to do is see me successful. He called me every week while I was in college, just making sure I'm on my stuff, and I gave him a clear update. He stayed in contact with one of my coaches, he just like a parent. So I couldn't say I probably still have been grinding hard and trying to get to where I was, but he made it. I'm sure he made it quite easy. Besides my son I had in high school, he made it easier for me. So he gave me hope, gave me more motivation, and that's how I got here.
What did that? You mentioned you had your oldest son in high school. What was that? I have no idea what that would be like. What was that like? All of a sudden you're 15, 16 years old and you're like, I'm like a junior in high school. I've got a kid and I'm trying to get to college and try to play football. How do you process that as a teenager?
Sure. Yeah, you kind of almost don't. I'm just like, man, this can't be serious, but it is. So I had I had to do my part as a parent. I was trying to find ways, a lot of stuff I couldn't do as a kid that a normal kid could do, because I had to stay home, watch kids. But I had a good mom, man. His mom helped out a little bit. My mom did a lot. We found a way, though. That's the good part about it. He ain't got to worry. No, I ain't got to worry no more. He ain't got to worry no more. So we all in good hands.
Did that give you? I mean, this seems like a cliche and maybe like an obvious answer, but did that motivate you more? Did that kind of keep you focused when maybe, because you and I have talked about, and when I talked to the other guys from Brunswick, there are so many guys that don't get out of Brunswick. Did that almost stay in your head of I can't go mess around because I have this responsibility that is counting on me?
Yeah, big. Because a lot of people back in my hometown wanted you to be just to fail, because everybody don't want to keep succeeding. But it'd be tough, that was my goal. I did not want to go back to Brunswick, I didn't want to be a kid that went off to school and had to come back to Brunswick because he ain't do what he's supposed to do, because everybody had been just laughing and saying I told you so, this and that and this and that. So I could not have that happen, and I ain't wanted that. So it's good now. Now I go back to the school. Now I go back to the city. It's just all love, support, a lot for the community. Everybody be like, man, Darius doing a lot for the community. So that's why I want to be remembered as not a guy that just kind of went to school and came back and not did what he supposed to have done.
Do you talk to your son much about that now? Because obviously he's living a much different life than you did.
Yeah, much different. He living a great one, boy. He getting everything. everything else, but he don't get whippings. So that's first. I was to get my body tore up. But he living a different type of life, man. I tell him how I was, and tell him how blessed he is and how fortunate he is to be living this type of lifestyle. Because I wasn't living it. I wouldn't say it was not like the best, but it wasn't just like great either. My mom did what she had to do to get it done, but my son he get up in the morning and say, Dad, man, I want an Xbox. All right, man, let's go get one. And, I couldn't do that in my time. So I had to, let him know, like, you're in a good position, son. So, but I also tell him, like, this is what I did for you. So when you get older and get grown, you didn't know you got to do for your kids. So, because I ain't going to take care of you forever.
What does Darian plays sport? Darian, your son. Darian plays sports. Like, what is he good? What's he play? Like, do you see?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he played basketball. His first year of football coming up this year. Like tackle wise, but yeah, he got his natural in him now, so it's a natural thing for him.
What do you think is his best sport? Do you think he can play basketball, or you think he's gonna be a football player?
He gonna be just like I was as a basketball player, But he likes basketball more right now because that's the one he played the most because it's year round, so he play all year. So, I honestly hope I kind of want him to play football a little bit because I feel like just how I was told as a kid, I was a big hoop. I used to love to hoop too a lot. There, somebody sit down like, Darius, you're not gonna be probably over 6'3". So, take football a little more serious. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at my son. So, son, your daddy ain't always 6 foot. So hey, I don't know how tall you gonna be, but if you get tall, less than 6'4", it's like you continue trying to hoop. But if you ain't growing over 6 foot, so you might well pick up a football. So we'll just see how it all playing out though.
Was there a concern about having him play football? Because I remember like when I talked to Rasheen back when he was with the Lions, he was like, I'm going to do everything I can, try to put my kid in every sport but football. And then like in high school, if he really wants to play, I'll let him. Like,
yeah.
Are you comfortable with him playing and your other son's playing football, or are you on it?
I'm comfortable now because my son's going to be 13. So I'm comfortable with it now. But at that time, when I was coming up in the league, Sheen and GQ was preaching that to me, because like what's crazy is that I was like the youngest one in the room, but I had the oldest son. So like, and I was the one that had the oldest parent. I was like the oldest parent in the room. Every year, every DB room I've been in, I had the oldest son. So it's like I've been the parent the longest, but me being a kid, raising a kid, I still need to guide it. So I was never big on fat, like saying I'm the only one with a kid in him. I'm the oldest one with a kid. Like I know everything. So I just go to GQ, Sheen, and ask some questions like, man, what would you do in this situation? Because they had kids, but that kid wasn't older than mine. But so Sheen the one kind of prepped me, talking like, man, you need to let your son, wait out. Because, we take a lot of concussions hitting each other. You don't want your son having them kind of headaches going in this because, a lot of coaches ain't teaching kids how to tackle properly and stuff like that. So I took that into consideration and I just waited, put in a little flag football and see what's up from there. But now he's 13 years old. He's ready now because, I can teach him the right way and everything. So it's going to be all good.
Is that part of, like, you kind of go back to what you do with the community? You host, like, random DB camps, receiver camps that you just will post about. Is that part of why you do it? Because, like, you want to teach people the proper way to tackle or to approach all of that?
Yeah, I want to for sure. And that's what I do it for. I do it because I love the youth, man. The youth is like, I want to set the generation up good after I leave too. Because the fact that, somebody did it to me, told me I'd be the future of the youth coming up. I want to let them know they could be the future of the youth coming up now, and you could change things and set the tone for the next youth under y'all. So I do a lot of things. So I just try to help kids. You can ask me any kind of question. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Would you tell you the truth? Even you want to hear it or not. I don't want to just, because that's what I was told. Nobody never lied to me and told me what was real. So a lot of kids that kind of come work out me either the ones I just be picking randomly. I don't be knowing someone got life stories just like I got, and I just want them to see my life story that it could always be different, man. You don't have to live the life story that you be seeing every day. You can paint a whole different picture.
When did you realize that?
That's what I said. When I had a kid, I had a responsibility. So I saw that was gonna be different already. And then and my high school coach, man, he preached to me every day, man. If you want to live that type of better life, This is what you need to do. This with this and that and that. So, like I said, man, I just listened to it, bought into it, and had to do what I had to do, and everything he said was right, and I'm living a lifestyle that a lot of people dreamed of, and but like I said, he told me I had to put in a lot of work for it, and I did, and I'm gonna continue to keep doing it on and off the field. So for him to give me that kind of information, just kind of like praised me and made me want to give out that information to other youth kids too. So that's what I do it for, man. Like, it's just like I probably wasn't the kid guy when I was coming up. Like, I ain't like hanging around with other kids, like say with my cousins or something. So now the fact that I just go around and reaching out to young youth, going to see kids play, supporting them, man, it makes me feel like a 1,000,000 times better person than I was when I was 15.
How many kids do you think that you've in the Detroit area? Do you think you've actually helped and interacted with that you've made a difference?
lot. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if I made a difference, but the fact that I probably me talking to them and meeting them and letting them know, like, man, you know, a lot of guys in the league really kind of like, I don't want to say stuck up because, you know, I don't know everybody, but I know a lot of people talk bad about a lot of people. But you ask anybody about Darius Big Play Slay, you not gonna hear no negative talk about him when it comes to like fan wise. Because like I said, I support all the kids. I host free camps. Like, it just be a random day out the blue. I just wake up, probably like, man, I feel like working out some kids today, and I put it out on Twitter, give them my address, meet me here, and we go work out and try to get better. I reach out to kids. You know, if I'm at a game and a kid has a great game at a high school game, I give him a great shout out. Like, man, you know, you played your behind off. Good job, whatever. So I'm not one of them guys that just like stuck up, you can't come up and say nothing to, or da 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 da. I'm really just like I live my life as a normal person, but you know, I know my boundaries, but I still kind of do live my life as a normal person. I don't see myself as like this superstar dude like a lot of folks kind of see themselves as. But I'm very humble.
Was that important? Like, when did you realize that you wanted to make sure you still did that? Because, like you said, a lot of guys don't necessarily do that, especially when they hit the level you're at, all pro, Pro Bowler every year. When did you kind of say, I still need to be that type of person? That has to be me.
I mean, it ain't women that have to be. It's just a DNA that's in me because I'm just known for giving back, and I'm just known for just being a great person. And me not doing that, I already knew I wouldn't be a great person because that's not who I don't want to be. That means I'm just doing something as in like other people are doing, like they want to do. Everybody want to be. A lot of people want to be famous. A lot of people want all that kind of attention. And a lot of people want to can be able to say no and then like that. I wouldn't like that. Like me telling the kid no so many, like I know that kind of hurt me, you know. So I don't like telling kids no that much because I got my own kids. That's hard for me to tell them no now. So telling a kid no for an autograph or something like that, or pictures that can like a change their life, they can have for a memory forever. Kind of hard for me not to do that because, like I said, I wish I had some. I ran into like a freaking Champ Bailey and stuff like that. Because when I first met Champ Bailey, when he came to Detroit for a workout, I was a year two guy. Like I'm still on here going crazy. Like this is one of my childhood like superstars, and I'm right here in front of him. Might be on the same team as him. So I'm like, man, what? And I was still starstruck, and I just, you know, I wanted to ask for an autograph so bad, but you know, Machine said, man, you can't ask for an autograph right now. He finna go work out. So I said, man, I ain't stressing this man work out. I'll try to get his autograph. This freaking Champ Bailey from Folkestone, Georgia. Like, hey, this is the crib. I used to see the dude play when I was young. What are you talking about? So,
did you end up getting the autograph?
No, man, I gave him respect, you know, because I said, got to look at it as a business. He's trying to find a job to take care of his family, even though he was already set, and that was at the end of his career, because he even played no more after that. When he did, I think he went to the Saints, and that was it, and it was done. But I try, you know what I'm saying, I gave him respect and neutral respect because Sheen said, man, this man here for an job interview, you know, to take care of his family. I said, okay, cool, Sheen, you right. You know, but I wasn't hearing him at first. I was just too hyped. I was excited.
Was that the last time you were starstruck by an NFL player or anyone in general, or has that happened since?
I was starstruck with my third year in the league with playing against Peyton Manning for the first time. He came to me after the game because I guess he heard I was talking about him a lot. And I just told him, man, I respect the heck out of you, man. You're my favorite quarterback of all time. You're the best quarterback of all time. I love you to death, man. I'm a Manny fan. I just like, man, he shook my hand. I wish he would have gave me that ball that was in his hand, but that was his last role. So I guess he was like collecting balls for all the wins that year, something like that. I don't know, but man, I wanted the ball out of his hand and all. I wish I could pick him off.
Well, you had to. I would say you almost had him twice that game.
I know, man. I was disappointed in myself. I wish I got 2 more tries.
Really, I think the only time I've really seen you starstruck, at least the last few years, was with Kobe. Because obviously I was with you that day.
Yes, of course. That's a different type of level of starstruck. There's nobody gonna never starstruck me more than he did. Definitely seeing him come around that corner and just saying my name. I'll never forget that day. Like I can never, man. Like I was, whew. You see, man. Look here. I went crazy. Just know I was like a kid in multiple candy stores, not a candy store. We all was in multiple. Like I was just surrounded by the candy stores. And my goodness, and seeing him come around there with that grin, man, I was like, man, I'm really finna touch this man's hand right now. I'm finna sign my ball, sign my jersey. Like nobody can touch my jersey. All kind of stuff. I have so many, man. My game will be decorated in Kobe.
What I was gonna say, when obviously you're at the Pro Bowl when the helicopter crash happens. How do you process that? Because you and I have had so many conversations about him in the past. How do you process that? How do you kind of reconcile, like, holy crap, like the guy I've looked up to is gone?
Yeah, man, it was tough. Like I said, man, seeing on the ticker and believing it was very, very tough for me. Like I almost didn't want to play, because like I said, he affected a lot of people in many ways that people probably never thought of. But tragically happened, man, to him and his daughter and the rest of the people that was in there, man. It was tough on the definitely that great day. Like, so that gonna be a day I can never forget, because I'm actually celebrating one of my achievements during the year. At a Pro Bowl, had fun with my family. Then that happened, so it's like making it to the Pro Bowl will be always fun, but it go always hit me a flashback that one of the greatest players in this generation and this world, died on this day that I had, did something for myself, I work hard during the year for, and it's gonna be like crazy, now it's gonna probably be a different type of aspect of the approach to the game, so Pro Bowl might be a lot more serious than it usually be, just because of the fact that the man, going and past because they want to just pay their due respect to him.
How did Kobe affect you? How did he influence you?
Like I said, I only met him once and shook it, and so but you could just always see his demeanor, you see how he approached games, you see his talks, his interviews, and you just listen to his competitive nature and how he approached games. Just like, man, like, that's how I want to be, and everybody that's a Kobe fan that love Kobe, that's probably how they try to play the game most of the time. They just want to approach it at a high level, always go against the best. I want all the weight on his shoulders. That's why I love traveling, because I don't want I like to be the fall on me all the time. If I lose the game, I want to go against the best person every time. If it's on me, it's on me. Let me lose it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what me got a lot of part in me following, traveling against the guy, because Kobe always wanted to guard the best guy. He always wanted to go against the best guy. He always wanted the best guy to guard him. So he just kind of motivated all of us to be, to be that dominant guy.
He obviously, especially toward the end of his career, became such a family person, and you saw him all the time with his daughters. And you're a big family person as well. We see you all the time with your kids, and you're posting about them, all that. Did his death change your perspective on things when it comes to family and kind of making sure you're around them more? Like, does the non-game part of it, like the human part of it, come into it too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's when all of us do our family different ways. We all celebrate kind of differently, but only thing I know, reading off Kobe is what it is. This is what he kind of like, said his thing. He said he did everything at work, and so when he go home, he said that he is nothing but a family man, a father and a husband. So that's why I try to live my life as, so I try to get everything I could do done at work, so I don't have to come home and just do it at the house, and because that's family time. So I'll probably do take a little like 10 to 15 minutes just to go over something. But other than that, like I'm trying to when I come home, football is not on my mind. I don't think about it. Shoot, I just chill, hang with the kids, hang with the wife, and whatever we got to do, we just do it, have fun. So that's what I took from him, definitely from the family aspect of just being like a parent and a husband and all that. So because at first I was just coming home, watch film from after work when I just got done watching it, and taking the time for my kids and stuff. So I just took it a different approach. Like, man, work is work, family is family. When I step in the house, it's nothing about work no more. I wait to work till I get up in the morning.
So has that, to kind of go back to what we were talking about at the top, the fact that like, you try to separate those lives. Obviously your kids are, some of your kids are old enough now to read stuff, to hear stuff. Your wife obviously hears a ton of stuff. How do you explain kind of hey, are we going to still be here? Or are we not going to be here with them?
Yeah, so I just, my son, most likely they probably tell him at school or something like, yes, dad getting traded, da, da, da. So, I just tell I tell my kids like that. That's the last thing we need to worry about. What my job is doing, because like I said, we finna be finna get ourselves set anyway. We're finna build our home, and in Houston, and so it's not really no matter where I be at. So if I'm here. I'm here. I'm not. So we gonna be in Houston for the most part, is just living. So we already got that situated. We know what this can happen. My son plays the video games well enough to know what's going on. He trades a lot of people on his team. So he knows it could go on. So it could be all good. We already prepared for whatever happens, So but like I said, we always love to be here in the Detroit, man. Finish my career here. But if it don't, man, we on to the next road. We ready.
So did you have to sit him down and actually talk to him about it, or did he come to you and say, hey, like, what's up with this, like? Or did he even try to trade you for like a second round or a first round pick on that?
It wouldn't really no set down. It's just mostly just like, hey, I sat down with the wife mostly because just preparing her for what can happen. Because like I said, we're in the middle of the year right now. You can't just up and pack kids up and move them now to the house or nothing like that, to the new house, because they in the middle of school. So we just had our talk about that. But the kids, we just kind of just told them like, it's a possible chance. We won't be here next year. Our plan won't not to be here next year anyway, as in like moving wise, because we're gonna build the house and they go live there in the house. But other than it's just team wise, we just told them it's a possible chance of us just like being on another team.
So wait, just to be clear, so the family's moving to Houston soon then?
We gonna have we get ready when we get done with our crib and all that kind of stuff. We go automatically just that's where we go live at. They all not gonna be wherever I'm at. They come home when spring breaks or whatever, games or whatever. But we finna get ready to build our house, and so that's a big house to go build. Somebody gotta be in there. We can't waste it.
Did you because that's basically what Glover did towards the end of his career as well. Like, did you have conversations with him about that too? And he's obviously in Houston. Did you talk to him about that, of like being away from the family?
Yeah, he told me about it. He said, but they came up to all the home games and stuff. So he got to see him enough, and he go home on all the breaks. So, but yeah, he talked it up or not. That's one of my biggest role models too. So we one of my best friends. So anything I got him, he'd just tell me. He keep it straight 100 with me. So so he don't prepare me for stuff like that. Seeing him deal with it, I see how he handled it. It was good and smooth. And his wife, his kids was coming up every other weekend. They come up all Christmas break, spring break. We got 8 home games, so they go 8 times. You go see them then. Definitely is a game close by them. They go fly to the closest game to them. So it was smooth. It's not gonna be a bad transition, but there's always a way to work it out.
Do you think that'll happen for this coming season, wherever you are, or is this like another year down the road?
Wherever I am. So we go, like I said, whenever our house get done.
Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure how close it was done.
Yeah, it's not that close, but it's going to get done by the time. Mm-hmm.
What I guess that kind of leads to this is, how much longer do you actually want to play? I know you've talked about it a little bit before, but do you want to play 3 more years, 5 more years, 9 more years?
Yeah, I can see myself doing about 5 more years easily, easily. I can see it, what I'm saying? How will my body shape up? however it happens, my body in good condition, I can still do it as I do it at a high level. I'm gonna continue to play. So, the Lord blessed me enough to see 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. How many of you blessed me to see? I'm gonna look forward to it, and I'm gonna make sure I get my maximum effort in each one of them years I'm playing.
And just lastly, what should people know about Darius Slay that they don't?
I'll be a lot of folks, because I'm very open. All the fans need to know. A lot of people that need to know is that Slay loves the fans, man. Slay is a genuine lover dude, man. He's a humble guy. So everybody pretty much know me because I'm my characteristics and how I am as a person. It kind of express who I am as without me knowing me. Some people probably can guess what type of guy I am just listening to me talk and do it and whatever. I'm a very open guy. I like to. I'm a very outspoken. So it's not even it's kind of just there. You can just really easily just read what it is when we just listen to me talk and watching me interact with folks or watching me doing whatever I do.
What's the weirdest interaction or craziest interaction you've had?
I really had no crazy ones because, a lot of folks just come and just have fun because, I probably get a lot of crazy ones if I was stuck up, but I'm not stuck up. If I was a rude person that say, I don't want to do this, some people might have a lot of negative things to say, and I probably have a lot of stuff to say to them. So a lot of the fact that I'm probably a open guy and nice guy and chill, I don't really have too many crazy altercations. The only thing that'd be crazy now, a lot of kids just want me to sign shoes that be coming right off their foot. They be kind of stinky.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that when I was with you at the high school. You just that happened 10 times.
Yeah, the kid was just taking off a shoe. I'm like, y'all just all right now. Y'all getting out of little hand with these shoes. Y'all shoes kind of stink. Well, but other than that, that's the worst thing that happened. That's the worst one I'd have had.
Hey, Darius, man, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it, and obviously, good luck with all the trade conversations. And I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
Okay, cool.
Come on down to Regents Field, Ann Arbor's true sports bar at 204 South Main Street in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Check out some of the food specials, including some gluten-free options and drink specials as well. You can also play skee ball for free, along with darts and even trivia on Monday nights. For more information, check out Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Regents Field. Now, back to our show. So that was the Darius Slay interview. Thanks a lot to Darius for coming on the show, for being so open. And just as an added note, he's always been very good to me and to the rest of the Detroit media. Really, throughout his entire career, he's always willing to talk, open, very colorful, very, very honest. And I think that came through in the interview. And it's generally at least a peek into what we get as reporters on a week-to-week basis from one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL. So as I mentioned at the top of the show, we're getting a little bit into the combine, into some of the other moves that the Lions have made. And first with the combine, and we'll have a bigger preview on Thursday, but when you're watching workouts this year, you're going to actually start seeing them later in the day. They start on Thursday night, which likely means more people will potentially watch drills throughout the late afternoon and early evening. Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia are scheduled to talk back-to-back around lunchtime on Tuesday, and they'll have some questions to answer about Snacks Harrison, Danny Amendola, Matthew Stafford, and our guest from a few minutes ago, Darius Slay, along with many, many more topics. Then there's the prospects at the combine, and with the number 3 overall pick, the Lions are going to be a focal point throughout the week. How much attention do they pay to Tua Tagovailoa? What are Tua's medical records like? They're going to clearly be open to trade talks, at least for the number 3 pick. Likely won't happen at the combine, but there is Darius Slay conversation, and that's going to be something to watch as well. How many prospects do they pay attention to? Which prospects do they pay more attention to? They're going to probably parse Jeffrey Okudah, Isaiah Simmons, Derek Brown, and Javon Kinlaw, maybe even more, even though they probably won't be all that open about it. But this is where they can really get those final evaluations started. Although most of the scouting of those players is already done? And is it possible that Chase Young falls to number 3 and then it becomes a no-brainer for Detroit? Players will rise and fall throughout the week and after it, and we'll get into that, like I said, more into Thursday's show just before the workouts start, but it's going to be a heavy, heavy week in the scouting world, which brings me to something else. On Monday, I have a story coming out on ESPN.com that I think you'll enjoy about the life of a scout. I spent some time with Lions Director of College Scouting Dave Sears in Mobile, Alabama during the Senior Bowl. We watched a practice together and talked throughout it about his career and the intricacies of traveling around the country searching for the next big thing in the NFL, which he's done for over 2 decades. It sounds like a cool job, except then you hear about the hours and the travel and the monotony. Multiple people described being a scout to me as an quote-unquote isolating job. You have to be comfortable really being on your own and self-starting as you crisscross the country. Dave and I talked a lot about what he's looking for as a scout and when you're trying to make recommendations for the front office during presentations and how they rank prospects. One of the things that he said to me, and it's a fun story, like I said, on ESPN.com that I really hope you check out, stood out. And here's a quote from Dave about it. Quote, "When you're watching for a scout, you're looking at athletic ability. I don't want to get too much into technique and stuff like that because that's not my job. I need to figure out if the guy can do it physically, and if I determine he can do it physically. It's somebody else's job to get him to do it physically. I need to determine if he can, to say yay or nay, this guy can play at this level because he has this requisite skill set. Once that happens, the rest is, and this is me saying this, the rest is up to a coaching staff and to the player." So this thought has come from decades of watching prospects, from seeing Champ Bailey, one of the best corners he's ever scouted, and as Darius Slay talked about, one of the guys he looked up to the most as a kid. He scouted Champ Bailey early on in his career, that's Dave Sears, and then he had to remind himself not to compare every corner to Champ Bailey because it would skew every evaluation after. Talked about how he focuses on one position or player during every rep of practice instead of just watching the whole field, because so much happens during a play that you're going to not be able to fully evaluate everyone if you do, and you probably won't have as good of an evaluation. How he learned from some of his biggest misses, including Nnamdi Ashamewa early in his career, and how that made him look at prospects in a broader way when it comes to their skill set and to think of players in multiple positions and roles. Plus, in the story, we get into some personal details of being a scout that I think humanize a job often seeming so anonymous to so many. Hopefully, you'll enjoy it when it comes out on ESPN.com. While much of the world is going to be focused on college prospects and scouting throughout the next few days, the Lions did make some moves with current players over the last week or so as well. They released Snacks Harrison and they re-signed Danny Amendola. Both moves make sense to me. Harrison didn't play at the same level he did in 2018 last year, and he openly contemplated retirement. And there's an old saying in the NFL that once you're thinking about retirement, you're retired. So even if Harrison plays somewhere else in 2020, which is entirely possible, I would have concerns about Snacks' level of play in 2020 based off of what we saw in 2019, both due to level of play and to injury. And if I'm the Lions, I wouldn't want to pay him $9.25 million in cash and an $11.75 million cap hit in 2020 for the hope he regains his form. Considering how much Harrison pushed for a new contract last offseason, it's not likely he would have taken a pay cut. Plus, the Lions will save $6.75 million in cap space from releasing Harrison, which could be used to find his replacement, whether that's in free agency or in the draft. Obviously, they won't need that money for the draft, but they could maybe sign someone in free agency or sign another position. Or maybe they even look to bring back Mike Daniels, who, again, they had last year. They took a chance on. He suffered injury after injury, but he clearly wants to play. He said he wants to come back to the Lions if possible. So perhaps they get him at a cheaper rate, and maybe some of that Snacks Harrison money could go there. Detroit has to rebuild its defensive line now with Deshaun Hand, Kevin Strong, and John Atkins, the top 3 defensive tackles under contract at the moment, and Hand isn't even really a pure tackle. He's more of an inside-outside guy. That's not a formidable group. So a combination of free agency and draft moves should be in store for the Lions' defensive interior. It's become one of, if not Detroit's biggest need. Then there's Amendola, another move that was somewhat expected as long as Amendola wanted to return. He is a team leader, a strong locker room presence, and a clear favorite of Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn. He also fit in well with Detroit's offense under Darrell Bevell, having one of his best years of his career, and that mostly came as a number 3 and sometimes number 2 receiver once Marvin Jones got hurt. He's a good complement to Kenny Golladay and to Marvin Jones, and he'll fight for extra yards. He also brings that locker room presence that the Lions really, really need, and that's really key. We haven't seen his contract numbers yet, at least as of Sunday afternoon when we're recording this, but it wouldn't be shocking for it to be similar to last year's $4.25 billion deal. Can't imagine it would be much more than that, considering Amendola is 34 years old, but perhaps it's a deal laden with even more incentives and roster bonuses than his deal last year, something Quinn has been willing to do in the past with contracts, and that could make Danny Amendola more money if he plays up to his level in the past. So if Amendola can play at or close to the level he played last season, along with a healthy Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones and TJ Hawkinson, Detroit could have one of the better passing offenses in the league with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. Of course, all dependent on health. The main question about Amendola's return was going to be all about Amendola, whether he wanted to go to more of a clear-cut contender and maybe even reunite with Tom Brady, wherever Tom Brady goes. But instead, he chose to come back to Detroit and try to help build a winner with the Lions and with people he's familiar with in Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. The other benefit of Amendola is mentorship. His work ethic is intense. He's an incredibly smart, passionate football player. So if the Lions bring in a young receiver in the draft or as an undrafted free agent, which they frankly probably should do, he can be a mentor there as well. And that's important considering at the moment, Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones, Marvin Hall, and Amendola are all entering the final years of their contract. Now, I would anticipate that Kenny Golladay ends up getting extended. He's one of the most valuable players the Lions have, and maybe they even extend Marvin Jones as well. But right now, your top 4 receivers could all not be on the roster conceivably in 2021. So Amendola can have an impact on a potential receiver placement for himself on the back end of his career, and he can also potentially groom someone to maybe replace another receiver down the road. That matters, and it helps, and you've seen it over and over again. Again, if you listen to the Darius Slay interview, Rashean Mathis did that for him toward the end of Rashean Mathis's career, and it proved invaluable for Darius Slay. The Lions are likely to bring back a few more of their own free agents, and they're going to be going after players from other teams as well. And we're going to get to that in the next couple of weeks on this podcast as things start to shake out. But those 2 moves, releasing Snacks Harrison and re-signing Danny Amendola, definitely signaled to me the start of what could be to come in Detroit. Thanks, as always, to Blue Wire and Regents Field for hosting this podcast, and to my producers, Stephen Arcanal and David Woodley, for putting all of it together. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Rothstein, on Facebook at Michael Rothstein Journalist, and you can follow the Michael Rothstein Show as a Facebook group at the Michael Rothstein Show. You can follow my guest tonight, Darius Slay, on Twitter at _Big Play Slay 23, and that's on Twitter. You can do that there. You can follow him on Instagram at Big Play Slay 23. And you should probably do that because, as he said, he hosts giveaways, he hosts camps. So if you're in the local area, you can maybe catch that on Twitter and see him there. He's very active on Twitter, will interact with fans all the time. And he's actually a pretty entertaining follow. As far as the show, you could drop a 5-star rating and maybe give us a review, and definitely subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Overcast, really anywhere at this point that you listen to your podcasts. We are there at the Michael Rothstein Show. Let us know what you think. Let us know who you want to hear from as we continue to bring on guests and have them chat about their lives and about their time with the Lions, if they were with the Lions, or just sports in general, or writing in general. And we've got some fun guests lined up here in the future. Obviously, we had Darius on today. And with that, we will chat with you on Thursday.